Hi and welcome to today's episode in which I test out Temu. If you've spent any time playing mobile games recently, or probably even just being online, you'll have come across a company called Temu. So it's the company with the bright orange marketing. The company's launched fairly recently, so they seem to be hammering the marketing and bombarding me every time I play a game online. I've been thinking for a while I might do a video, buy a few random kitchen things off Wish and just see if, how they compared expectation versus reality. I put a basket together on Wish, but then realised that you have to pay shipping on each item, so it ended up costing £10 to £15 just on shipping alone. So I kind of left the basket alone, then saw the Temu advertising, and it had free shipping in the UK. So I thought, well, we'll take that as a sign and buy from Temu. I'm not going to go into the ethics of the company because A, I don't really know anything about it, and B, well, sometimes you just have to bury your head in the sand, don't you? I've got no doubts there's some kind of negative something or other going on to get the prices as low as they are. I focus mostly on kitchen bits. There are a couple of other household bits that I thought, for £1 I'll stick that in the basket as well because I need that. This arrived a few days ago, so I've opened the bag and checked everything to make sure nothing was damaged in case I had to return anything or contact them about anything. Everything's fine. So yeah, I'll just pull things out and we'll talk about it. The first item's a garlic peeler, shaped like a bulb of garlic, hole in the end, and it's made out of silicone, kind of stretchy. There's no instructions, so I'm going to have to assume that you just put the garlic in the hole and then rub it round, I guess. I'm not really sure. Unless this is meant to be a saver. Let me check the order. Yeah, garlic peeler. So this was 88p. So according to the picture at least, you rub it. I was sceptical, I won't lie, and I was right to be sceptical. Yeah, it's still got peel on it. Perhaps you need to put a whole bulb in and the friction of each piece rubbing against themselves, maybe that takes the peel off. Try. Okay, it somewhat works. I guess it's going to stop your hands getting stinky. Partial win. I think that peeler would be useful if I have to do a whole bulb of garlic, for like the garlic confit. I can't remember which video I did that in now. I'll stick a link down in the description. Rather than having to peel each piece by hand, maybe that'd be more useful rather than just doing one or two. I've got a little grater, so I think you put whatever you're grating in the hole and then you push that down. I'll grate one of those garlic, why not? I'm gonna have to cut this down to size a little bit. Okay, yeah, so that worked quite well. There's a little tab there that holds that on. I'd say that's a win. So that'll be good for things like ginger. The grater was 88p as well. So that's not bad at all. This is a non-kitchen one. This is going to be for my bathroom drain, so I can poke it down and get the hair out just to unblock the drain. That was 88p as well. I mean, it feels fairly well built. Like there's no bristles coming out or anything like that. I've got a freezer scraping blade for when I defrost the freezer. Annoyingly, it's got a plastic coating on it. And I guess the coating's on there, then they put the handle on. So I might have to take the handle apart to pull that plastic off. If you are going to use metal to scrape a freezer when you defrost it, just keep it away from the bars. Like any of the white things that you see in there, keep this off. Just use this to do the kind of top layer of the ice. Otherwise you're going to start damaging it and then rusting the fridge, so just be careful. This was 98p. Because that's fairly sharp as well, that might be useful for doing, if I need a bit of ice cream and the spoon isn't quite doing it. Might work for things like that. Got a little sink caddy to put sponges in the kitchen sink. So it just sits on top of the kitchen sink and I can put sponges so then they can drain into there. That was also 88p. They seem to like the 88p as a price. This is one of the more expensive items at £2.48, a fruit cutter. So it's got, if I can get that. Oh, fixed it. So I won't do that again, but it's got like a sectional part there and then that part marries up with it. Try it on a cherry tomato. Not holding out hope if I'm honest, because it all feels a bit blunt. Yeah. I'd say that's a fail though, really. I'll keep trying that thing on different fruits and vegetables and update the pinned comment if it's actually useful for anything. My instinct is not. I got this to go behind the kitchen tap. It was £2.19. I keep getting water gathering sort of in between the tap and the sink and it's making the counter crumble. So I thought, give this a go, see if it kind of protects it a little bit. It's not the best fitting, it's not the prettiest thing. I maybe should have ordered a smaller one, but I was worried about that part because that's where the water gathers behind there. Got a pack of 12 sponges. So you've got a sponge on one side and then like a plastic scourer on the other. They were £1.49. It's not bad at all. I use them for dishes, that kind of thing. This is another bathroom one, so it's just to catch hair to stop it going down the drain. Can you tell I don't have much faith in this given I've ordered that long brush? We'll see though. Kind of suctions onto the bathtub. Got this little filter tong kind of thing. Not really sure why I got it, to be honest. It was £1.28. I mean, I don't do much deep frying, but I think if you were deep frying, for example, a few pieces of tofu, it might be quite useful for that because you can dunk it in, use that bit to hold it down so you can get the excess oil off. I bought this silicone kneading mat for £2.19. I don't think I'll ever use it for kneading as such because I'm never that precise. But I thought it'd be useful, especially when I do my crafts, like the paper crafts that I do. I'm making some drawer knobs at the moment. I'll maybe slot a picture or a video in or something. I'm making out of pages of National Geographic magazine and I'm gluing 2 pages together to get a bit of thickness. At the moment I'm using a Pritt stick, but it ends up being quite costly because the glue stick's like £1.50 each. It's enough to glue 1 magazine, something like that. So I was thinking maybe I could use just white glue, PVA glue, smear it on a silicone sheet and then kind of smear the magazine page in that and then put another one on top. So silicone might make a nice surface to get a thin, even amount of glue on the page. It feels decent quality, but yeah, it's a decent size. So it's like 20 inches, so it's probably 22, 23 inches across. And maybe, I mean, it's got 12 inches, which is, I mean, that's probably 14 inches, something like that. It's got it in centimetres. It's got some conversion charts on there, which is kind of handy. It's sticking to the counter, so that might actually be useful if I'm making vegan steak because I use beetroot. I sometimes put the silicone mat down to protect the counter so it doesn't get stained bright pink from the beetroot. Got a vegetable spiralizer. This was 98p. Yeah, I'm not sure how to use it. Again, there's no instructions. So I'll stick it in the middle. Well, kind of works. I wouldn't throw out the other spiralizer I've got in order to replace it, but this is probably better for things like cucumber. Yes, it might be better for things like that. I bought an oil brush, so you fill up the chamber there, and then it's got like a little silicone bit there. I bought it thinking, oh, I could use that for barbecue sauce on tempeh, that kind of thing. The hole's tiny. Put a bit of barbecue sauce in, see if we can do it. But, you know, it'd be good for if I need to grease a cake tin, that kind of thing. I'm gonna have to spread it on a cracker because I don't have any tofu in at the moment. That's exactly what I thought would happen. But you got to test these things. Yeah, so I mean, I might try and widen that hole. See if I can use a scalpel blade or something just to widen it a touch. The oil bottle was 98p. Not a massive amount of money to be disappointed about it, but yeah. I had a feeling it would, as soon as I squeezed it. I got a new little nylon bag for doing nut milks, that kind of thing. That was 98p, fairly basic bit of equipment, so I don't need to test drive it or anything. I've been meaning to get one of these for a while, so I'm glad I saw this one. It's a tea egg, so you fill it up with loose leaf tea and then just put that in a cup, because I can either make a full big teapot, I've got a smaller one like that, but then, you know, if I'm at work on my desk, I don't necessarily want to have a teapot and a cup on my desk, whereas that just going to be a bit more compact. You can also use that for making soups, broth, sauces, that kind of thing. So you can put herbs in here and then you can just take it back out again if clarity is important. I've got this little silicone liner to go in the air fryer. So it sits in the air fryer like that. If I'm doing slices of tempeh, that kind of thing, I'll put them on a silicone sheet. The liner was £1.28, so that's not bad. I got a 6-piece silicone lid set, which was £1.98. The silicone covers can make a nice alternative to cling film. See if it fits. Yeah, so it just covers things up, so you can put leftovers in the fridge or heating things up in the microwave. Bought this little ginger peeler for 38p. It works like a bit like a ring, so you put it around your finger, like that. Use it to scrape a piece of ginger. I mean, that's taking off more than the spoon does, because I usually use the edge of a spoon. It's got these 2 very sharp points there. I don't understand why you'd want that. If I use the side of it, That's a bit better. I still think the spoon's better in all honesty, but worth a try for 40p. Bought a new oil bottle, like a spray bottle. So you fill it up with oil and then you can spray oil from preheating the air fryer. I've got one and the trigger works like that, and oh, now it's loosened up, of course it has. But it was sticking and I couldn't figure out how to clean it and dry it. But for £2.68, I can keep this, in reserve. I can probably even fill it with water and use that if I need to spray any food, pastry, that kind of thing maybe. I'll save the most exciting till last. Woo! So I bought a dumpling maker. I'm not a massive fan of them sending plastic bags because it offers no protection to the stuff that's inside. I mean, it's no big deal, but if I'd have bought that as a present, do you know what I mean? Because it's all crushed. Luckily, the tool itself is fine. But yeah, I think I'd prefer a cardboard box. This was also £2.68 and I went for a nice cheerful yellow one. So I think you put a little ball of dough in there and then press it down and that forms like a disc. And then you put the disc on this side. It's got these little crimps on it. Put the filling in and then fold it over and press it, and that'll form, hopefully, little dumplings. I've been wanting to make some dim sum dumpling type things, so maybe I'll do a little video and show you how to make a few different fillings. I assume that's to lift the dumplings off if they get stuck or anything like that. I don't think I'm going to put it on, but it comes with this, which I think goes in there, and then you can hang it up on the wall. The way I thought about it was dumplings, the most tedious part of that is going to be rolling the dough out, so I thought that could probably work quite nicely. And I could also perhaps use this to make the tacos, that kind of thing. They'll be small, but perfectly amuse-bouche size, so you can just bang it all in at once. All in all, I'd say I'm maybe 75–80% happy with the items. There was the cutter, the peeler, and the oil bottle. Those were disappointing, and that spiralizer. I'm most excited about the dumpling maker. So yeah, looking forward to trying that one out. Altogether, the total was £28.03. So that's not bad at all, really. As I say, free shipping. I ordered it on the 8th of May and it arrived on the 16th. It comes from China, so I mean, that's not too bad. As I say, it's not something I'll be doing a lot of, but I thought it was interesting to try it as a one-off, to see if these things, if they live up to the hype, that kind of thing. A couple of the bits I'm really surprised at. That little grater, I think that's going to be useful. I had wanted to buy some kind of quirky, weird little gadget type things, but I spent, I think, 45 minutes on just that bit. And I started getting really overwhelmed because it's just scrolling, and there's so much stuff on there. But it just becomes a bit much. In the advert, there was a couple of things I thought, oh, that might be interesting to try out, like little frying pans that have sections in it, that kind of thing. But I didn't see anything like that. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications if you want to be alerted when that dumpling video drops. I do vegan recipes, ingredient deep dives and that kind of thing. And while you're waiting for that one, have a look at this.